Hello my beautiful weebs to another video. Today Otaku Sensei will be recommending the top 10 anime where the main character is overpowered but dropped to the lowest rank. If you're new here and happen to enjoy this sort of content, then please don't forget to subscribe as well as turn on notifications, because 83.9% of you haven't subscribed yet. And for the people who are already subbed and liked the video before it actually starts, know that we appreciate you. Anyway, let's start the video. We kickstart this list with Unbreakable Machine Doll. The story is like during the early 20th century. Along with technological advancements, scientists were able to develop sophisticated magic. The combination of science and sorcery was 𝐴ᴏᴏ. Circuits made from spells that were put into objects to bring them to life and even gain a personality. It was developed as a military weapon and is now spread throughout the world. Our boy Akabane Raishin is now attending the Royal Academy to become the best in the world, accompanied by the lovely teenage girl, Yaya, who is actually Raishin's puppet weapon. He plans on rocketing to the top of the class. However, his test scores come nearly dead last, although his combat skills and determination are second to none. Raishin has to compete with the deadliest of classmates if he wants to come out as the king. Ganta Igarashi, a seemingly ordinary student attending Nagano Prefecture's middle school. As an escapee, a survivor of the Great Earthquake, Ganta has no memories of the tragedy and has lived a normal life. This all changes when a strange person covered in blood and crimson armor floats through his classroom windows. Running madly, the Red Man massacres Ganta's entire class. Instead of killing him, the Red Man embeds a red crystal shard in Ganta's chest. Within days of the massacre, Ganta is placed on trial as a suspect. Due to the evidence rigged against him, he is sentenced to death at Dead Man Wonderland, a prison that doubles as a theme park. Arriving at the prison, Ganta is fitted with a special collar which monitors his location and vital signs. A lethal poison is constantly injected into his bloodstream through the collar, but it can be neutralized by consuming a peculiar candy-like medicine every 3 days, which can be acquired through various activities in the prison. An example being performing for audiences, working backstage, and purchasing with cast points, a form of currency among inmates at Dead Man Wonderland. To gather cast points, an inmate must perform in the facility's lethal games and survive. Fortunately for Ganta, he is aided by a mysterious albino girl named Shiro, who apparently knows Ganta but whose existence is unknown to the other prisoners. While trying to survive as an inmate on death row, Ganta intends to find the Red Man to clear his name. In 8th place, we have Grimm's Notes. Within one's book of fate is their destiny. Written by the mysterious storytellers, these books decide every small detail of one's life. Some storytellers, however, choose to interfere with the stories of others rather than write their own. These malevolent beings are known as chaos tellers, who seek to ruin stories by overwriting the books of fate. X, Reina, Tao, and Shane were born with blank books. Ostracized by society due to this abnormality, they abandon their respective stories in search of better lives. In the vast unknown, they encounter famous fairy tale characters such as Cinderella, Momotaro, and Snow White. All the while, they work to subdue the chaos tellers and return peace and order to the stories. In 7th place, we have Megalobox. The series takes place in a futuristic Japan where licensed citizens live in a wealthy city while unlicensed citizens are forced into a slum on its outskirts. Megaloboxing is a popular sport in this world similar to boxing, except the boxers fight while wearing a metal frame which makes their attacks much more lethal. 𴑛G is a young man who fights in underground illegal rings and fights that have a fixed result, where his coach Gunsaku Nambu directs him on when to lose a fight. One evening, he almost crashes his motorcycle into Yukiko Shirato, who is the head of the wealthy Shirato group which oversees the Megalonia tournament. 𴑛G picks a fight with her bodyguard, Yuri, who is also the top-ranked Megaloboxer. Yukiko stops the fight, but Yuri seeks out 𴑛G and meets him in the underground ring, where he easily beats the less experienced fighter and tells him to fight him again in Megalonia, which 𴑛G would need a place at the top of the official Megalobox rankings to qualify for, as well as a proper citizenship ID to enter the rankings in the first place. After Nambu persuades the mob boss Fujimaki to forge 𴑛G an ID under the name Joe, the two are given 3 months to achieve their goal of working their way to the top of the Megalobox rankings in order to have a chance at fighting in Megalonia. In 6th place, we have a Chinese anime called Kwanzi Fashi. The aloof high schooler Mo Fan has found himself in a universe similar yet distinctly different from his own mundane one. It's a place where magic has replaced the essence of science. Here, the most capable students are taught to master the wonders of spell working to fend off large, devastating beasts that lurk in the forests surrounding the city. Like his previous life, Mo Fan remains the son of a poor laborer and the older stepbrother to a crippled sister. Despite these disadvantages, he dreams of attending a magic school to become a magician, a highly respected and lucrative trade, in order to repay his father for his hard work. Mo Fan is accepted into a renowned magic institution. However, rumor spreads about his poverty and lack of magical ability, labeling him as the laughingstock of the school. Nonetheless, Mo Fan manages to harness not only the powerful fire element, but also the rare lightning element. Now armed with dual abilities, what dangerous encounters will this versatile mage face? By the way, it has a manhwa version called Versatile Mage, so if you guys like reading manhwa, you can check it out. In 5th place, we have Baka and Test. Our boy Fumizuki Academy isn't a typical Japanese high school. This unique institution has implemented a new and innovative system to sort its students. At the end of their freshman year, students take a test that divides up the student body. The highest scores are placed into A class, all the way down until F class, for the lowest of the low. Unfortunately for Akihisa Yoshi, his supposedly great intellect wasn't quite enough for such a test, and now he's stuck at the bottom of F class. Naturally, F class has the worst facilities, not only rotten tatami mats and broken tables, but also outdated equipment and worn out furniture. On the bright side, his friend Yuji Sakamoto is in the same class, and to everyone's surprise, the genius girl, Mizuki Himeji, has also ended up in the same class due to an unforeseen fever on the day of the test. Unsatisfied with their prerequisites, F-Class rallies behind Yuji, determined to take on the higher tiered classes in order to seize their perks by using the school's examination summoned battle system. The participants can summon fantasy characters whose power levels are equal to their students' test scores in an all-out battle. Will F-Class be able to rise to the top, or will they live up to everyone's expectations and fail? In 4th place, we have Aria, the Scarlet Ammo. The setting of the story features Buso Tante, aka Armed Detective, a national qualification established to counter worsening crime conditions around the world. Butte holders are trained in various specialized fields and are permitted to possess various weapons and capture criminals. Kenji Toyama is a student at Tokyo Butte High, a universal educational facility for the training of Butte. At this school, students with an aptitude for the work undertake special training in order to learn the path of the Butte. Shortly after Kenji decides to quit the academy due to personal reasons, he is attacked by the Butte Killer, a criminal notorious for eliminating Butte. A case of the hunters becoming the hunted. The elite Butte assault prodigy Aria H. Kanzaki comes to his rescue, and from that moment on, Kenji's future as a Butte changes drastically.
俺は吸血鬼だ。だがニンニクも食えるし十字架も怖くはないのだ。
In third place, we have Blood Lad. Staz Charlie Blood is a powerful vampire who rules the eastern district of Demon World. According to rumors, he is a bloodthirsty and merciless monster. But in reality, Staz is just an otaku obsessed with Japanese culture and completely uninterested in human blood. Leaving the management of his territory to his underlings, Staz spends his days lazing around, indulging in anime, manga, and games. When Fuyumi Yanagi, a Japanese girl, accidentally wanders through a portal leading into the demon world, Staz is overjoyed. But just as he is starting to feel an unusual attraction to her, his territory is attacked, resulting in Fuyumi's untimely death. She turns into a wandering ghost, and the crestfallen Staz vows to resurrect her, as this would mean being able to travel to the human world, something he has always dreamed of. In second place, we have Lord Marksman and Vanadis. In a European fantasy era, countries are in a non-stop conflict. Zekt is one of these countries, which consists of 7 regions led by war maidens, known as Vanadis. However, Eleonora, one of the Vanadis, will start a raid against the country of Brún. Therefore, Ellen, with her overpowered army, succeeds in decimating the country of Brún, but she spares the life of Brún's Earl, the young archer Tiger, or Tigre, I'm not actually sure, while giving him the order, "Become mine." So what could be the meaning behind this new alliance? Maden no O to Vanadis is an epic adventure anime that consists of clever war tactics and beautiful women. Trapped in a multinational conflict, Tiger and Ellen are swept up in a war filled with dark secrets, conspiracies, and corruption.
ブリット。よし、詠唱は口に出さなくてもいける。魔法の形を変えられるならこれだ。
And we finish this list with a new anime. Tsukimichi is at number 1. The fantasy centers around Makoto Misumi, an ordinary high school boy summoned to an alternate world as a brave warrior. Unfortunately, the goddess of the world said with disdain, "Your face is ugly," stripped him of his title, and banished him to the outermost fringes of the wilderness. While wandering the wilderness, Makoto encounters dragons, spiders, orcs, dwarves, and all sorts of other non-human species. Due to differences in the environment from his own world, Makoto now exhibits extraordinary powers in magic and combat. Thus, he survives in this world while dealing with various encounters. The curtain rises on the alternate world social reform fantasy of a boy forsaken by gods and humans. This video ends here, and I want to especially say thank you to all those people who support me through Patreon and channel membership. Hope you enjoyed this list, as well as got introduced to new shows. If you did, then leave a like, share with your buddies, and like always, subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, try to keep the comments section wholesome.